What's up, guys, and welcome back to No Color Entertainment. This is Matt.
Ariane. This is Juice.
And Squeezy Side Chick Wednesday!
Squeezy Side Chick Wednesday!
And we are returning for the wheel. And we're reviewing an interesting movie today.
Definitely a good choice of words. Definitely a good choice of words.
It's definitely a film.
It is. Well, is it though?
It's a film.
It's moving pictures.
That's...
It's a movie. Yes, it's a movie. Yes. It is a motion picture. That's what it is.
So just sharing real quick.
Same.
And then I will get into the description.
Yeah, let me put this on my X real quick as well.
And there we go. Alright, so sound is good. We are good. Alright, so today we are reviewing and discussing Cowboys and Aliens.
Baby Jesus.
A 2011 film starring Daniel Craig, Harrison Ford, Olivia Wilde, Abigail Spencer, Clancy Brown's in it, Paul Dano's in it, Sam Rockwell's in it.
National Treasure. Sam Rockwell.
Yeah,
Walton Goggins.
Walton Goggins is in it.
Yeah, that's what I meant, Goggins.
David O'Hara's in it.
Hi, Chloe.
Directed by Jon Favreau.
And was there somebody else attached to it?
And Spielberg produced.
Yeah, it was.
He was an EP.
It is based... I just saw it. One moment. Here we go.
On the Platinum Comics book, the same name.
Yeah, it's based on a comic book created by publisher and former senior executive vice president for Marvel Comics, Scott Rosenberg.
Oh.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
this is kind of off Marvel.
You get those tones for sure. And I kind of feel like after the success of... Okay, so this is 2011, so this is after Iron Man and Iron Man 2. So this is Favreau's attempt at an off-Marvel after the success of Iron Man 2.
Yes. So the synopsis. A spaceship arrives in 1873 Arizona to take over Earth, starting with the Wild West region. All that stands in their way, a posse of cowboys and Native Americans.
So this is before Doc Brown lands in Hill Valley in 1985.
Yes.
Okay.
So 12 years prior to the events of Back to the Future 3.
And in a different area of the Southwest.
That's fine, but regardless, sticking to my point.
Do me a favor, just give me a Pepsi.
Absolutely.
So are we... Alright. So let's get into this. Initial thoughts.
Well...
Do you want to start, sweetheart?
I just want to say some things about the film, like, in general. Like, it was a budget of $163 million. It basically broke even. The box office take of 174.8.
It just keeps...
It started for development in 97. That's a fucked up thing.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Got film rights to the concept pitched by Rosenberg, which he described as a graphic novel in development. So he was just starting the graphic novel, and he pitched it to them. And I guess they kind of signed up for it, but they're like, yeah, they just kind of kept leaving in development hell forever.
And then the Marvel movies got
big.
So,
yeah.
I don't think Favreau was like, oh, I want to do an offshoot Marvel movie. I think whatever studio did this.
This is Universal.
I think Universal saw the success and was like, hey, you did that with Iron Man. Come do it with this comic book movie. And unfortunately,
it just didn't do.
Didn't
do as well.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the writers.
Oh gosh.
Well, one of them is Damon Lindelof, who is most notably known for the Lost series.
But he's a producer.
Of what?
On Lost.
Yeah, I think he also was a writer. I think he maybe wrote some stuff on there too.
He did The Watchmen. He created The Watchmen for HBO.
He also did Star Trek Into Darkness. and World War Z, Prometheus, and
Into Darkness, is that the one with Khan?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he also did a comic book called Ultimate Wolverine versus Hulk. He's actually the writer for that one.
Huh.
Wait, Lost has a sequel?
It better not fucking have one. Not that I know of, but I've never had it.
Lost Epilogue,
Oh, that's
The New Man in Charge.
Totally different story. Go back to that later.
Okay.
Put a pin in that. But yeah,
so after this, he finally hit his stride in writing, it seems. He did take a backward step in World War Z. But this... I blame the... I enjoy watching this movie. To a point.
Yeah.
However, the biggest problem with it is the writing. And it handicaps the movie quite a bit.
Yeah.
So, initial reactions, it's a film. If I were channel searching one day and I happened to land on a channel where this movie's playing and it's in one of the action scenes, I may sit there and watch it. It's a good turn your brain off action movie.
Yeah.
The problem is there is so many better turn your brain off action movies.
Yeah.
That this kind of gets lost in the shuffle. First one that comes to mind, Die Hard with a Vengeance. Not a good film.
Sure.
Not a very good film.
Never
But
seen it.
goddamn, I could watch the hell out of it. Because the performances uplift the writing.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, the writing hinders the performance.
Yeah. No,
I can see that.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. So that's my initial thoughts, and I'll let you guys go before we get into the good, the bad, and the ugly, which I'm sure we will have plenty.
I want to also point out that on opening day of Cowboys and Aliens, its opening day gross was 13.0 million, and it came in second place to another film with 13.3 in their opening day. The Smurfs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So this was just not a good time for movies.
No.
Strange says he would like to be addressed like Norm from Cheers every time he shows up.
Strange!
Unfortunately, I did not watch Cheers.
Neither did I.
I'm pretty sure it's you just say strange, like say it out loud, and people are like,
No.
Strange!
I think that's right. I only watched like Cheers and Syndicate when I was like a child.
No.
Um,
All right, I'll go ahead and give my thoughts real quick. My initial thoughts. I had fun watching it. I wasn't really like turned off by anything structurally. I mean, there's a lot going on, I will admit. So there's like, I'm trying to process stuff, and at the same time, it's like I'm trying to shut down. The action scenes are fun, and that's pretty much it. There's nothing that really like hooks me into like really like wow. So yeah.
My impressions of this film, because this is my second time seeing it, is the same as before, and that is it's a film. Well, I'll say it's a movie. I don't even know what to call it a film, but it's a movie. A couple more things I want to add with regards to like kind of its reception. That was interesting. Is Rotten Tomatoes, the critics gave it 44%, but the audience meter gave it 43%. So somehow the audience still found it was worse than the critics.
The critics, yeah.
But at the same time, like I say, Metacritic says 50 out of 100 based on 41 critics. The audience's Cinema Score gave it a B. And like on other like metrics or whatever, it's like 6 out of 10. So like, it's weird because I think everyone's like, no, there are good things about this film that make it watchable, but it's not
very good.
No, yeah. And
one person said painfully predictable.
I don't know. I give it painfully predictable because like some of the shit just kept like waffling back and forth, and a lot of it was the different tones they're trying to go for, and then like it was very and then writing, which is weird because
I was going to say that. Yes.
Like Lindelof, I love Lost. I'm rewatching it, and there are some things that like I'm watching it now. I haven't done this like analysis of films. Like I'm usually very critical of stuff when I'm watching it in the moment. and I've watched Lost. It's my like fifth, sixth time going through this goddamn show. And
Lost is a lot of and then writing.
there's a lot of and then writing in
Yeah.
Lost, and it makes you forget it because enough shit's going on together that pieces are being rolling together.
Because
but it's fucking there.
No, but it's a mediocre story. Lost is. With really good what's in the box beats.
Yeah, they're very good at like leaving you a mystery.
Yeah, where you want the answer to this question.
Yes.
And until you get it, you're not stopping watching the show. And then when they give you that answer, at the very end of that exact same scene, there's 2 more questions that you absolutely have to have the answer to before you stop watching the show.
Another thing I saw on here was an audience review from the Rotten Tomatoes, and it says, Han Solo and 007 in the Wild West joining forces to fight gold resource-stealing insect aliens. It's actually bloody good.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
4 out of 5 stars.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna give it that higher thing, but my initial impression of this film is that it's watchable, but there are times when it's just barely that because of some of the stuff that we're gonna get into later on. But I didn't fight watching this film, and I didn't really criticize it a whole lot like I have.
Not until the 3rd act.
The
Third act, you had enough.
The 3rd act was gonna fall apart. It really was. I just had enough because up to that point, I was like, okay, and I was like, I'm just waiting for like there to be some payoff, and like, god damn it, this is the fucking payoff, and I'm just like, I can't with y'all. So yeah, no, I let a lot of shit go up to this point, but no more.
All right, so let's start with the good. Okay. I'll go ahead and kick it off. The performances.
I think that's gonna be everyone's good.
Harrison Ford is great. Daniel Craig is great. Paul Dano is great. Olivia Wilde is great. Walton Goggins is a joy no matter what he's doing.
Yep.
Sam Rockwell.
National treasure.
Whether he's in his stupid comedy or he's in something serious like this or Green Mile, he is just very good and has fantastic range.
Or Dick.
Or Dick. Sam Rockwell.
Oh, okay.
He was very surprisingly good in this one.
And you know, you say that when he's in a serious role like this, and everyone says that after they see him in a serious role like this, but then you're like, why am I surprised? He was amazing in the Green Mile.
I forget he was in the Green Mile.
I've never seen the Green Mile.
He's Billy Bob or whatever. He's
I
like
remember.
the actual villain.
No, yeah, I remember now.
He's fucking phenomenal.
Strange, we all feel the same way.
Yes, Cowboys and Aliens. My thoughts are, it exists, and that's it. Yes, that is pretty much what we're talking about here. So the performances are good. The action is well done. Even in the night scenes, it's not like too dark.
Yeah, sometimes. The scene where he's learning how to shoot with the preachers.
It's a little dark, yeah. But during the action with the kid, it's not like unbearable to watch.
No, and that's
it's
weird.
not Alien vs Predator Requiem.
No, but that's so weird though because like they're basically in like the same setting, so I don't understand why that one scene was so poorly lit and the other one wasn't.
I don't know. But anyway, there were some great shots. Specifically, there's a ship that falls into the water, and it's a beautiful water shot. And when you get a good water shot, I always appreciate it. Because there's something about a good water shot of something in the water or hitting the water or having water on it. Like, you could really make that look good. And that was definitely my favorite shot in the entire film. That's...
I'm not giving you more till you're not feeling good.
The dog doesn't die? That's good. That's good.
Yes.
That's a good. That's at least half a point for you that you said. So.
To get back. Score though. They're still dropping, by the way.
Yeah, I think that's my good.
That's basically everyone's good.
I think.
That's literally everyone's good.
I will go next.
Everyone on here is talking about
and just basically kind of add on to that. I think the CG is well done. It's not too jarring. The practical explosions look good in the town. The music, I think the score is well done. Didn't see who did the score. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
Acting, I don't really have any notes on CG just because like it was okay. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't like terrible, but at the same time, I think also I've also kind of gotten to used to a certain amount of it, and so like none of it was necessarily enough to pull me out of it, but it wasn't enough to make me go, "Wow, that's amazing."
No, that's
like,
fair.
It was CG.
Huh.
So what?
Well, you said you didn't see who did the score, so I wanted to look it up.
Please.
And it is what's his name? Harry Gregson Williams,
Okay.
who is also known. I'm gonna save that one for last. He did stuff like Meg 2. He did. It looks like he did something with Gladiator 2 that's coming out.
Okay.
He did Mulan.
The live
the
action
remake, yes.
Okay.
The Equalizers, so with Denzel.
Right.
You know, not a whole lot of like. The Martian.
What was the big thing he did?
He is the main composer for Gilded Age.
God damn it.
That's one of her favorite shows.
Okay, I thought it was a game. Never mind. Okay.
No.
Yeah, no, he is. Well, he's doing it with his brother, it looks like.
Yeah.
But he is the composer on Gilded Age.
Yes. Gotcha.
Okay.
But anyway, where were we?
Ari was talking. She was going through her good.
You're good.
My good is done.
Oh, you already had your good. All right. So let's get into the bad.
Let me go first just to kind of get it out of the way because
Okay.
I don't really have a lot of bad that I really focused on. Not like for me personally, like nothing really took me out of it. There was nothing really I was against that I like really focused on, but I wasn't like nothing really like wowed me either, you know. And I think that goes to show like when this movie came out, I had no interest in watching it.
Yeah.
Because it was a sci-fi western, and
How do you make that appealing?
yeah, no.
The title is not gonna grab you.
And like Harrison Ford's in it and Daniel Craig's in it, and like I wasn't big on the 007 movies at the time. And like as much as I love Harrison Ford, it was like this is pre Return of Star Wars.
Yeah, this is
before
right around the time of the bad Indiana Jones.
Yeah. Oh, we're talking about
No, this is years after.
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Yeah.
This is a couple years after.
This is a couple
Was it?
years after
Yeah.
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
When I say around that area, it's
Yeah.
within 4 years
Yeah.
because that's when actors kind of stay the same way because it takes about a year to make a film.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I give myself about 5 years when I say in the realm of.
This is still phase 1 Marvel. So obviously my interests were not focused here. I was busy.
2008.
What's that?
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull was 2008.
Oh God. Okay, so yeah. Again, my focus was elsewhere. So this is 2011. So this is if my math is, this is probably like a little before or after Captain America: The First Avenger.
Yeah.
So like Marvel movies are like my in right now.
Yeah.
This, like no one. I didn't even know this was a comic. So
Yeah.
So yeah, nothing particularly soured me as far as this movie goes. But then again, but at the same time, like nothing like. And
Grab
I can't
you.
exactly, and I can't explain what didn't specifically work for me that you guys probably will better.
Yeah.
So there we go.
So I'm gonna go real quick before Ari just dives in.
Sure.
And
Strange, if you have anything particular that you can explain that I can't, please put it on the screen.
So one of my biggest issues, and I said the writing, to go a little deeper into that, there are 6 writers credited with this film.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
6.
I saw
No.
Which just immediately makes me think of those TikTok videos that we watch every once in a while, where the guy comes in and says, "All right, we're making a new Fast and Furious movie. Give me an A-list actor, Jason Momoa. You're fired. No, wait, you're hired again. That's a good idea." And it's just bouncing ideas. Oh, what if we do this? Oh, and then what if this happens? And then what if this happens? Too many cooks in the goddamn kitchen.
By the way, on that note, we're definitely gonna watch Red One when it comes out.
Huh?
On that note, we're definitely gonna watch Red One when it comes out.
Which red one?
The Santa movie.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, which is also going to be fucking terrible.
It is!
But...
I don't care!
Thank you, Strange.
Strange says, "I knew it was a comic. Honestly, I don't love the comic, and I expected it to not be good the first time I watched it. So it lived up to my expectations.
Oh, yeah.
That's fair.
And that's the thing. When I went into it, I had just watched Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Please tell me that's a better film.
It is.
It is.
Thank you.
But because it was, because the whole reason I didn't see Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter was because of the goddamn title. It was so bad.
That's exactly
and I'm
why.
like, why would I ever watch this? This is stupid.
This is exactly why would you go see it, actually.
And then I watched it, and it was interesting, and it was actually halfway decent.
Okay.
And I'm like, fuck, there's another movie that came out recently with a terrible fucking title that I'll give a shot. And it happened to be Cowboys and Aliens, and it was better than I expected it to be. Which is, I think, why it made it onto the wheel, because it's just like, I remember this movie being better than I thought it was. Mm-hmm. However, I've never gone back and rewatched it, and I don't know why. And that's part of the reason I put these kinds of movies on my wheel.
Got it.
Because I have a positive feeling with them, but I don't remember why I haven't gone back to that feeling.
Yeah.
And this answers a lot, because I'll probably never watch this movie again now. Now that we're dissecting it and I'm actually looking at it through that lens. Kind of like Xenon. I always had that, like...
Nostalgia,
that 5-year-old, I enjoyed this, and I just can't anymore. I just can't.
No, of course not.
Because someone has ruined me on my movie watching.
You're absolutely welcome.
So, you can't have 6 fucking writers on a movie. You can't. No. It's very hard to have a good movie with 6 people having input. Because everyone's different, everyone has different perspectives, and everyone sees the world differently. So... It's way too many cooks in the kitchen. It's and then storytelling. This happens, and then this happens, and then this happens. Where, if anyone's familiar, Trey Parker and Matt Stone from South Park had a
basketball.
No, they had a. They did do basketball, but they had a seminar with a bunch of writing students.
Okay.
And they said whenever we're writing a South Park episode, we always put our beats of the story together. And if you say the words and then to connect the beats, you probably don't have a very good story. But if you use the words therefore or but or because, then that's how you connect your beats in a story.
Right.
It's a lot of the reason I liked Alien Romulus, because the very first 30 to 45 minutes of that film are therefore, and you can see it. Yeah. There are consequences to the action of these characters. There are no consequences here. It's like you're on It's a Small World in Disney. And you're just along for the ride. Yep. There's no consequences. There's no stakes. And when they try to put in stakes, like the dog dying, like Olivia Wilde dying,
and
they immediately renege it. Because they need a happy ending. This is I'm going to term this a studio film.
Yeah, that's what this feels like.
This was made by the studio to make a profit.
Yeah.
And shiny, throw some money at the actors. Don't spend too much on visual effects, which is why I think we got, instead of this epic third act battle, which we could have had, we got little bits and pieces of said battle through an eyeglass.
Yeah.
Because it saves on budget. That's what it felt like.
Yes.
Instead of an actual fight.
Yes.
Cool idea to try to cover it up. So Favreau, good job covering it up the best you could. But it's because the studio limited you on what they wanted you to do. It feels like that.
Or he made poor decisions.
So I'm going to say writing and the studio involvement.
Or it really could have been studio heavy-handedness, because we know that they have a habit of doing that when it comes to certain films as well.
Yeah.
Especially when they want to make like certain blockbusters.
So I'm going to say this, especially because something else, when they put on the movie, considering how terribly it did compared to everyone's expectations, that doesn't surprise me. Under Wikipedia, there's an actual part where it's like talk about the production of the film, and under it says writing. In the films, I'm going to quote this. In the film's period as a developing project under several studios.
Oh, that's another problem.
Different versions of the screenplay were drafted by numerous screenwriters, beginning with Steve "Fuck You Kung Pao Enter the Fist" Odekirk,
who's also known for the Thumb series.
It's not his fault. But my ex loved Kung Pao, and so I've seen that movie way too goddamn many times.
I've seen it once.
Fucking hated it. I hated it. I hated
So
it.
is that like...
Oh, we lost the cat.
And the pizza.
Newt is trying to ruin the stream now.
Tully's like,
I almost saw that coming. Well, Tully's just got more food. Did you get Tully more food? Is that what that was?
I'm pretty sure that's not what that was. I'm pretty sure she was trying to get it herself. Which was gonna be interesting because that pizza weighs more than you do, Kat.
Yeah, for real.
Every slice does.
Well,
Well, she
then again, it was an empty box. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, so, okay, other screenwriters. Oh, sorry. Do you want me to finish?
You had said something. I was commenting on it.
Steve
Fuck
Otter.
you, Kung Pao.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've only seen it once.
Yeah.
It was terrible from what I remember.
Oh, thank God.
But I do want to give him some positive remarks because he also did do When Nature Calls, Ace Ventura, and Bruce Almighty, which are both good films, but they might be good films because of Jim Carrey and not because of his
that's
writing.
yeah,
that's
gotta be.
yeah.
Alright, so other screenwriters involved included Dave Hayter, another like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people. When Universal and DreamWorks repartnered, so this, I don't know, in 2007, they hired 2 more people, Hawk Ostby and Mark Fergus. In 2009, they were taken off the project and replaced by 3 more people, including Lindelof.
So even worse than 6 people sitting in a room and just creating the story together. Now it was 2 people created a story. Now we're going to give you their story, but we didn't like it so very much, so make it better. And then the next group comes in. Hey, this is where they got, and we still don't like it. Make it better than this.
Yeah.
And it's just, oh God, that is like the worst way to do this.
Why somebody even? Well, when you look at Wikipedia, so I would list like 9, 8, 12 names on here, but only like I think only like 6 of them, including Odekirk, get any credit for either screenplay or story by. The rest of them just don't even get mentioned. So, but yeah, and then one of the writers who was, I think he's credited up on Wikipedia, I didn't notice. Quote, the first draft was very kind of jokey and broad, and then it went very serious. You kind of swing back and forth between the 2 extremes, and the tone until you find the exact right point where a Western and a sci-fi movie can really shake hands without seeming unnatural. Imagine you're watching Unforgiven and then Aliens land. Like, yeah, but you guys didn't do that very well.
No, they did not hit that mark.
I mean, or at least even with like the Western and sci-fi part kind of blending, the tone of the film with regards to like when you mentioned the stakes and like the comedy and everything, a lot of that feels off. And so my negative, in addition to the writing, or more specifically with regards to the writing, is not just them, the and then writing is not just them keep putting in stakes and taking it off, because all that's legit also. It's, okay, something very simple, like, we're going to write out at first light, and then the next scene, when they actually do write out, it's gotta be at least like 10, 11 o'clock in the fucking morning. Easily. Even Daniel Craig's character, who leaves before them, does not leave that fucking early.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, but that's a very simple thing that you can do in directing and writing that they fucked up on, and it does not give you a lot of hope for the rest of the film. Like that just small stuff like that, things that just kind of don't really make sense. That what do you want?
I was not giving that to you.
Oh, what were you trying to do?
I was checking her.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so the other thing is the characters themselves. Like, I really, really didn't quite understand what kind of character Harrison Ford was supposed to be. Like, I get that he's supposed to be like this irascible, cranky,
I think every draft had a different version.
That's got to be it.
Yeah.
Because at the end, he was like this redeemable character.
Was he though?
No! No,
That's
the whole
what he's
time he's like
ugly.
this halfway, like, racist, like, just, like, asshole.
Yeah. Literally trying to pull someone in 2 by horse.
Yes.
At some point early in the film.
No, yeah, like, and nothing else, his son being the complete jackass dickhead that he is, like.
Oh, yeah,
hey,
and there's
gotta
no
be a whole
consequences there either except getting kidnapped.
Alright, Tully, we need you to.
Is it happening?
Yeah, she's probably gonna go, but I need to put her out here in a second. But yeah, those are basically my things. I wasn't a big fan of a lot of stuff in the film.
And Stream says this sounds like what happened with a lot of the late Fox X-Men movies. Don't like the script, so give it to someone else.
Yeah, I could definitely see that for Apocalypse and for Dark Phoenix.
I still defend Apocalypse, though. I still enjoy the.
Oh no,
I have to put Apocalypse on the wheel. because, and I'm not even going to mess with the other X-Men.
No.
There is something about Apocalypse, though, because, like, Days of Future Past, I could get why people like it, and I could get why some people don't.
Yeah.
First Class, same thing. Phoenix, same thing. Apocalypse, I don't get. I thought it was fantastic.
I can't.
But we'll get to that.
Yeah,
Anyway, we're talking about Cowboys again.
The other thing Strange said before that was like, in life, I'm looking for Abe Lincoln, Vampire Hunter, or Velocipaster when it comes to dumb title movies.
Yes. Both of which are fantastic.
Velocipaster's terrible. God awful.
Yeah.
I never want to watch that movie again. I have no desire to watch that movie again.
All right, so
no, zero.
I might consider giving it a
I'm
chance.
so hoping because our rule.
No, you should sit through it once.
Yeah, I will sit through it once.
It's like Rubber.
Yeah.
Ew.
You gotta sit through Rubber once.
No, you don't.
All right, ugly.
Ugly. Okay, racism.
Yeah, hell yeah.
There is definitely some racial undertones between, obviously, the Native Americans and the Caucasians. That's going to be in every Western, and that's fine.
No, not every Western, but almost every Western.
Most Westerns.
Yes.
Now, I want to reference another movie we just watched.
Oh,
Horizon.
Yeah.
Which is a 2024 Western.
Yeah.
And I noticed how there were actual stakes in the racism. Stay with me here.
Okay.
So there are consequences to being racist. You don't see that in older movies because it's just accepted. Indians are the bad guys. White people are the good guys. And this still kind of had fringes of that.
Well,
Cowboys and aliens. Horizon, though, both sides had a viewpoint. Both sides still hated each other, but both were given reasons to why they hate each other. And no one was painted as wrong.
Well, I don't agree with that either, but okay. We can discuss that another time. I just don't necessarily agree with that assessment, that's all.
Okay, we can definitely talk about it at some point.
What I will say with regards to this movie is that the comic, the original graphic novel, that they tried to like imbibe in sort of the film was this principle of enemies uniting to fight a common enemy. Like that's literally
the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Because the whole point was that like there's like I forget who it is, like these gunslingers or cowboys or whatever, basically, who end up fighting these Apaches or get ambushed by Apaches or whatever, and they're in the middle of fighting when like the aliens land, basically, and start wiping everybody out.
See, and that would be much more interesting to me.
Yeah.
Than what we got.
Yes.
Like if they're like in the middle of a battle and then a third party comes in and starts wiping everything out, like that would be so much more interesting to me. And it's funny you say that because the enemy of my enemy is my friend is actually the premise of a lot of movies I know that don't really have a story. It's a way studios seem to create friction between characters.
Yeah.
Without actually doing the work to create friction between characters.
Because they're going to have. Or don't have the energy to
the first one that comes to mind is Alien vs. Predator.
Yeah.
Which actually has a scene where they say the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And then the Predators and the humans team up.
Yeah.
It's
a bunch of the Godzilla films, let's be real.
Yes. That is actually the premise of Godzilla. Yes. So, yeah, no. And once you start teaming up, that's when things start falling apart. Because all the best Godzilla movies are when Godzilla's the villain. Let's be real.
Yep, that's right.
Except King of the Monsters. But, so, ugly, the racist undertones that are still very... What's the opposite of woke?
Slept on?
Tone deaf?
Yeah.
Tone deaf. It's very tone deaf racism, which, here's the thing. I actually think that racism has a place in stories. All of the negative of our world has a place in stories because they exist.
Right.
It's how are you going to tell these? How are you going to tell that story? How are you going to show it?
As Ari said, what did I say?
Legit, as Ari said, Godzilla films.
I was typing that out.
I love you, Strange.
What I mean by that is What was I getting at? Shit, I got derailed.
Racism is good.
Racism is good in
I did not say racism is good.
Racism is
paraphrasing.
I said racism has a part in story, has a place in story. It's a thing that exists, and it's something that we should talk about and analyze. Can we get back on focus, please?
No.
No, we can't.
I love you.
No, the point I was gonna make was Lady and the Tramp, the remake.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's based in the 1920s.
Yeah. Well, no, earlier than that.
Okay, earlier than that, with an interracial couple as the main characters who are accepted in society and successful business people.
Yeah.
In this society.
In a very blended society with absolutely
Stop!
commentary on race.
That didn't exist.
Point of order.
God damn it.
Here.
Strange! Stop! Would you like to? Someone like to read that comment? Or?
Quote: Racism is good. Matt 2024.
That's not what I said. I said racism has a place in storytelling. Damn it.
I was gonna say, with regards to your statement about Lady and the Tramp, that's not entirely true. It isn't isn't true to think that this is the norm and that there was absolutely no friction between those populations. But the idea of somewhat blended societies, at least within America, those pockets did exist. Just it was not widespread.
Yeah.
And lots of work was done to kind of dismantle those populations, actually, and so they didn't really exist past a certain point.
Yeah.
Until we were forced to kind of reintegrate later on, decades later.
Another ugly is the forced romantic connection where there can be no romantic connection.
Oh, between him and Ella?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah. No, that's
not only that, like, up to that point, you're still holding out hope that his wife is alive, because you have not seen it.
Well, the woman he's attracted to.
It's
not established that it's his wife. It's
they did.
The woman that he left everything for.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is his woman. You're holding out hope that she's still alive. And that's the thing. At the end of that, before we even find out whether she's alive or dead, the romantic attraction with Olivia Wilde starts. And it's like, this is weird. Aren't you literally on a mission to save your beloved?
Yeah.
Why are we staring at each other longingly like we are about to have sex on this beach right the fuck now if this monster didn't pop out and kill us?
They do get interrupted by the alien.
They were going to bone.
Yeah.
That was happening.
So look,
I've seen that look. I've made that look. And a bone was afterwards every time.
To be fair, Matt, Olivia Wilde has those big, beautiful blue eyes.
Oh! Go back to good for 2 seconds. The way they accented the eyes in this film.
Yeah.
Yeah, Daniel Craig's eyes are fucking super clear, like almost pastel.
Everyone's eyes are very clear
Yeah.
and
Well
full.
shot, yeah.
No,
It's
it's
a
very well done. Anyway, back to
You
Ugly.
can't light anything in dark with a damn
So
fur.
then they then they tell you, okay, the wife's dead, so this romantic relationship is fine. Oh, but she's a fucking alien.
Yeah.
You can't have a relationship with an alien. Even though if he would have ended up boning the alien and actually trying to pursue a relationship, I kind of would have liked that better.
Yeah.
He even fly off the spaceship with her or something.
Yeah, because then at least I would have had the lingering question, like, hey, how did that work out? How was the sex? Like, does she revert form? Or anyway.
Don't ask!
So,
to answer the question.
and then
Do you
my
involve the
last,
Phoenix Force?
my last ugly is the writing. I know it was in my bad, but I'm also putting it in my ugly.
Oh yeah, too many hands in the pudding or in the Jello.
Yep.
Too many hands in the bread dough.
Yeah.
in the patients.
Too many germs. Too many germs.
So it is blatantly obvious watching it this time that the writing is why I never went back to this movie.
Yeah.
I did not know it at the time. It was a subconscious thing, but that is why I never went back to this movie. Strange also says, someday Matt will kill me for my trolling.
Possibly.
It's being planned as we speak.
Very good.
All right, so ugly.
My ugly, I agree with everything you said, but for me particularly that I actually caught it was the moment when they look into each other's eyes. I love that moment, but at the same, because I'm just like, yeah, I could see that, you know. But and I'm like, I'm drawn into her eyes too. I was drawn into her eyes too. But yeah, no, I could feel the force.
Can you feel it? Can you
Yeah,
feel it?
yeah,
That's the force.
yeah,
That's the
yeah,
force.
yeah. No, but I could feel the force romanticism on there. Like, there should not have been an attraction. You know, like maybe she's attracted to him because he saved her, but he shouldn't have been attracted to her. So yeah, that's my biggest. That's like the one that really got really for me.
This is before Hollywood found out that you could actually have platonic relationships between the opposite sexes. Yeah. One of my favorite recent movie moments, and I'm going to let you go and you can dive in and rip this thing apart.
Please.
One of my favorite moments from recent film is Jurassic World 1. And it's these two characters in the control room who definitely have a friendship.
Yeah.
But there's no, like, inkling to romanticism. But then things start falling apart. People are going to die. And the male character is going to stay behind and make sure that the job gets done. And this is exactly where Hollywood would force a romantic relationship between these two. And she would leave him with a kiss or whatever. And he goes in for the kiss and she goes, no, actually I have a boyfriend. Yeah. I don't talk about my boyfriend at work, but I have a boyfriend. And it's like, oh, yes, awesome. They don't have to like each other. That's fine. Anyway.
Go ahead, Ari.
Ari's ugly.
I have comments on that movie as well, but we're going to save them for another time.
Oh, I'll put it on the wheel. Don't worry. I ain't afraid to defend that one.
All right. Anyway, so I'm so proud of you, baby, because every single last one of my, most of my uglies are all yours. Like, for all of those reasons. And you enunciate them all very well.
I'm woke. And racism is good on the same string.
Yep.
We breaking barriers here at No Collar Entertainment. Continue.
But so, yeah, no, I have a couple more, but it basically one of my biggest uglies was, like, they have no idea how to write well, I guess they have two, but we'll call 1.5 fucking female characters they have in this goddamn film. No idea.
What a half.
The wife.
The flashbacks only?
No, the fucking Doc's wife.
Oh.
Ana de la Reguera, she's nothing.
Yeah.
She's
There's
no reason for him
there.
to be there, basically.
She's a MacGuffin.
Yes.
She is a MacGuffin.
Absolutely. Like, the very definition of one.
She's a prop.
Exactly. Whereas, like, Ella's character, whatever, like, she shows up with actually no explanation. She's involved for no fucking reason. And I get we get the reason for it later on, but there's no real, like, explanation, reasoning, the demonstration as to what the fuck are you doing.
And I don't know if you noticed, but they completely ripped off the opening shot and introduction shot of Aragorn in Fellowship of the Wings. Sitting in the corner of a tavern watching our hero drink in shadow.
Yeah, no. I'm looking for someone's going to crash into me. You wanted
the patriarchy today.
That patriarchy.
But no, just the entire use of her character was just disappointing, and that's the kindest way I can describe it. It just I don't have the words to describe how poorly written her character was, and it just didn't fit. It didn't fit what they were trying to do, but all things didn't fit in that fucking film. But it's almost like because she's there and she's attractive, and of course they're gonna write her to be attractive and stuff. It's Hollywood. Then like she has to be set up with the main character as a female, like real love interest or whatever. Never mind the fucking age gap that's in there because that's not something that we care about. But I mean, like, yeah, like why?
Every female is either a damsel or a love interest.
For one of the male characters, yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
this film does not pass the Bechdel test.
Oh, they don't even talk. There aren't more than... None of the female characters ever talk to each other. They have no scenes with each other.
Yeah.
None.
Yeah, no.
So,
that's pretty bad.
There's that.
So, sexism as well.
Fucking hell yeah. And then everything you said with regards to, like, their use of her and, like, the storyline, where, like, aren't you supposed to say with your wife, dude? Oh, yeah, her. I forgot about her. She's probably dead anyway. It's fine. Part of me in my heart knows she's dead. That's why it's okay. But, no, then why are you going on this journey?
Bernard. Anyway.
So the other one that with regards to the racism, like, yes, there's that, and of course the use of like Native Americans in a very specific way that I don't know how actually culturally relevant or like accurate it is. But probably the one that bothers me the most is the maintaining of the good minority with regards to, I think his name is Nat.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, and his character, where like he dies. Was he defending? What's his face? I don't remember. But,
no, he dies just in the battle.
And then,
but his whole character arc is trying to get his white captain. How did I don't even know how
his surrogate father.
Yeah, his award basically.
Yes, and he needs to get his white savior's approval.
Yes, that's literally what it is. He dies doing it.
Of what it is.
He fucking dies doing it.
Yeah,
and he's the one who also gets like the rest of the Apaches on board. Because he's the only one who can speak Apache, and I'm waiting for him to like fuck them over because this guy is not
the alien.
Yeah, besides L.
Oh yeah,
because the alien can speak Apache too.
Yeah,
but the white people never bothered because why would we? That's actually probably the most accurate part of this movie.
But no, it's the because he's the one bringing them back together, and at some point I actually said the words out loud. He's like, "You don't know him like I do," or like, or I forget what he said. Something like make him like prove that he's like this great guy or something like that. Like what the fuck are you talking about? And then he goes and gives all these reasons for it, which is more like saying it without showing it, because up until this point, that character has not showed one single ounce of any of the good things that he is talking about.
Hell don't show.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, and it's just kind of like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah. And
no, I was so just like that did not need to happen at all. Now, if you had to write that in there, you guys failed as writers. And maybe I get it. Oh, it's 2011. It was a different time. All of like 13 years ago, like just 4 years, 5 years before 2016 with Me Too. 3 years after the election of our first black president. No, we're still gonna have some racial tone deafness with our films. Fine.
So there is an extended version.
I don't care.
17 more minutes.
Longer that I have to be. It's like this movie is being inflicted upon me.
No, so apparently it's 17 more minutes. That really all it does is make Percy more sympathetic.
Nah.
No.
I don't. There's no need to make him sympathetic.
No,
absolutely.
He's a shit.
Yeah.
Who has a terrible ending.
If you guys didn't fucking make him sympathetic initially, and like that was the whole purpose of his life, was basically to be a little shithead, because his daddy could do everything, like make him love you everything.
Spoiled brat.
Yeah, that was the whole point. So, but no,
So yeah. That's our ugly.
Shall we move on, or do you want?
Yeah.
Do we have greats?
I feel like I had a great.
I have a great.
Walton Goggins.
Yeah.
Walton Goggins is always my great.
Yes. Well, anything with Walton Goggins in this, that was my great as well.
If you have not seen FX's The Shield, please sit down and watch FX's
It's on Hulu.
The Shield. It is phenomenal. You watched
it?
I started it. I haven't finished, but I enjoyed the little bit that I saw.
We need to talk about that more.
At some point, I need to jump back on it. It's still saved on my continue. Continue watching. But there's I have other stuff that I'm watching. I'm trying to get through Naruto Shippuden as well right now. So that's
priorities.
Priorities.
Do you have a great?
Walton Goggins, and I wonder if this one counts, despite all of us who's got like reading this movie for like their attempt at trying to tie, I think somehow the Holocaust to it. And we're like, so at the end of the film, where he's going through and he sees the place where his wife died and he almost died.
Yeah.
And they have all these like pocket watches and clothes and stuff like over from the people.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I felt like they were trying to make some sort of tie into that. Now, I don't know if I want to consider that a great, because it feels like almost like
I don't even know if that was. I don't know if you can give them the credit that that's what they were going for, because I'm not 100% sure that that's what.
It'd be an accident if they did.
Yeah.
But like, other than that, yeah, Walter Goggins. Not Harrison Ford, not Daniel Craig, but Walter Goggins, because like I know they're gonna be good at whatever they do, but he's just always a delight whenever he's on screen, and I was like, spoiler, I guess, delighted that he survived.
No, yeah, and one of the most entertainment I got from this film was the conversation between Walton Goggins and Daniel Craig when they first see each other. And Daniel Craig just decides he's going to be the gang leader and just go along with the facade.
Oh, yeah.
And Walton Goggins is just like, just the lovable lackey who you really are cheering for, even though he'll never be the leader.
Well, you imagine like they're like running off to try and get away from everybody, whether at the end was Like, you're still my favorite.
Yeah, no, he's fantastic.
Oh, no, you know what?
him.
Actually, I would split my grade between him and Brendan What's-His-Face from The Departed
Oh.
and fucking Braveheart.
Yeah, no, he's super
I
good,
was
too.
super happy. Like, oh my god, like, no, he's always good. He's like 5 lines, but still deliver it with like impeccable timing and stuff.
All right.
So we're done.
So, we have our grades, we have everything. I gotta do something.
Gotta
Well,
hit
the
the
rest of it voted in 10 minutes. We'll be off here in 10 minutes.
Yeah, but I still gotta hit the button.
Alright, so...
it's the alarm from Lost. I gotta put it in the code.
Gotcha.
Alright, so out of 10.
Solid 6.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
I was waffling between 5.5 and 6.
The dog survived. Give it a 6.
I know. You know what? Honestly, I am gonna give it a 6 simply because of the acting. That is the only thing that allows this movie to have a 6. Had the dog fucking died, it would have easily been a 5. Because like, when I told you it was gonna be like, if the movie was like going down for me, at that point I was coming into the film, and at a certain point I'm like, okay, this movie's not gonna higher than a 7.
Yeah.
And then it kept going, like, okay, I'm not getting higher than a 6.5. And then the dog.
Sorry about that. Tully was getting super loud. We gotta quiet her down a little bit. Continue.
But so yeah, the dog was like, as I was watching the film, the score just kept going down, and then I think I was at like a 6.5 when I thought the dog died. I'm like, oh, it's going on a 6 immediately. Like they were not going any lower, any higher than that. There's no fucking way. And even the dog came back, I was still gonna feel really shitty because like that feels like they cheated. But okay, whatever. And then the film continued, and I'm like, okay, we're going to a 5.5 at this point. Like, it's not getting any better from here. Then the dog came back, and I'm still pretty solid at a 5.5 just because this film has pissed me off enough at this point. But because the acting was still watchable enough, I'm going to give it a 6, and that's where it will solidly stay. It is better to be thankful for a 6.
Okay.
And the only other film I can think of that I gave it a 6 like that was the fucking not the Batman, sorry, my mistake. Justin Snyder's cut of the Justice League. That movie should have been a failing grade, but I gave it like a 6 basically. I rounded it up to a 6 because of the cuts.
Yeah.
The Justin Snyder cut.
Strange says 5 for me, but really a 0. If a film is so middle of the ground, I hate it more than if it's just a fully bad movie. So 5, but really a 0.
I gotcha. That's fair.
I get that.
Yeah.
Like, at least be bad if you're just gonna be bad. So I get it.
They try to make a film with like 19 different writers and think that we wouldn't notice.
Yeah. So buy it, stream it, don't bother.
Stream it. At least watch it once, get it out of your system.
Don't bother.
I'm not gonna watch this again.
Stream it or don't bother.
Yeah.
One of the
two. We watched this movie once together.
If you have an itch for an action movie with some pews and big explosions, check it out.
You can find something else better,
Yeah.
I promise you.
I can name 3 movies right now better.
When you watched it for the first time, when was it?
When it came out.
Okay.
The year it came out.
So
When it hit
2011.
video.
So we watched it together for the first time when we started dating.
Yeah.
So this is your third rewatch right now.
So
Second rewatch
yeah,
the
so
first
I
time.
had just watched it like recently when I had you watch it.
Okay.
And then I can't remember why I didn't ever go back to it. And now
Because it's
watching it
terrible.
today, I remember.
Yeah, no, I've gone the last 12 years now, having never watched this movie, not even really thinking about wanting to watch it, having escaped it at times, honestly, when it's on like TV. And now that I've seen it again, I'm fairly happy with my decision on doing that. So I'm gonna go with Don't Bother, because like we mentioned, you can think of like 3 better movies right now, but that probably that we've already watched on this stream, on this channel or whatever, that you would be better served watching if that's what you are looking for.
Yeah.
So Don't Bother, is my opinion. It's not worth the watch.
So Strange says if you're trying to watch all comic book movies ever made, it's fine. But yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't bother otherwise. We're not really trying to watch all comic book movies ever made.
No, I think he's saying if you were doing like a themed watch
yeah.
then maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Otherwise,
Well, like we did. We went
tried.
back, or we tried to
We
do
tried.
all pre-MCU movies.
We did not. We failed.
And we did not make it very
We got through
far.
all the Wolverine X-Men films, and I think we stopped at Logan, actually. I don't think we went back and watched that.
We never went back and watched Logan, but it was so painful getting through
Ev-
Origins Wolverine.
Jesus.
and
The Wolverine?
and The Last Stand.
The Wolverine wasn't
Okay.
that terrible.
No, not the Wolverine.
Okay,
I don't mind the Wolverine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's the one with Silver Samurai, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't mind that one. That one's fun.
Yeah.
It's not great, but
No,
it's fun.
no.
That was
yeah.
a 7.
It's a hell of a lot better than Origins.
No, of course.
Yes.
Anyway. So at this point, I think it's time to spin for the next one, and it is Juice's turn.
It is, so let me
What
go
the
ahead.
hell is the cat eating?
I don't know.
Whatever she found.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
She's crunching on something.
I
Anyway.
just wanted to choke on
Alright, I have... Volume is up. My wheel is ready. Are we ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Alright. And Ari is checking to see what the cat is possibly ingesting.
It's a dog food kibble.
Oh. Well, I
I'm
mean...
sure she's fine.
Yeah,
because-
I mean, it's still food.
But it's
not made for her.
No, it's too big for her.
That's my point.
Because if it
It's-
gets
it's,
that-
it's still food, but it's not made for her.
No.
Alright, here we go.
Wheel of
Wheel of
morality,
morality,
turn, turn, turn. Tell us the lesson that we should learn.
I love how that's become a thing.
Yes!
A little bit.
Get ready to put your Ram Jam on, because
Ah!
next week we are watching The Wrestler!
Oh my god!
Jesus. Okay.
That's gonna be a watch. Okay.
Alright.
That's fucking exciting. I like that.
I
movie.
love that movie. Another wrestling movie in what, like 2-3 weeks?
About a month.
Well, about a month, yeah.
Yeah.
Since the Iron Claw, so this will be fun.
Yeah, no, this will be a good one.
Where you can relax and train.
No, I don't.
We haven't relaxed in 30 years.
So yeah.
Next week is The Wrestler. Check that out. Mickey Rourke and...
Marissa Tomei.
Thank you. Why am I fucking blanking on Marissa Tomei?
Yeah, really.
Oh, good. More sad wrestling film.
Well, any happy ones? Don't say Ready to Rumble.
Ready
Ready to Rumble.
Rumble.
Ready to Rumble's the
Ready to
happy
Rumble
one.
is the happy one, yeah.
There's a
Crown me, king. Crown me.
But also any of those like.
Oh, Finding with My Family.
That's not really a happy one either.
Yes, it is.
It has a happy ending.
It has a happy, yeah.
Yeah, so.
But it's not a great. It's
No,
not,
it's terrible. I
it's
was
not-
yelling
yeah.
in the theater. I was
Yeah.
not happy with it.
There's I guess there's that one wrestling movie that has some WWE wrestlers in it on Netflix, but I've never seen it. Don't bother. No, I'm good.
The Longest Yard?
Is that wrestling?
That's not a wrestler. That's
I
football.
know, but it has a lot of wrestlers in it.
No,
No,
it doesn't count.
count.
There needs to be a ring.
Squared
I guess
circle.
maybe if they ever made a heels movie.
Oh, God. We should go back and watch that show.
really should. I don't
It's
want
on-
to unless they finish it.
I think
It's
it's
coming to
it's coming to
Netflix.
Netflix, so I'm
Yeah.
excited for that.
So only if they're bringing on a third season, I watch that show again because I don't want to. It's the same reason why I can't watch Mindhunter again, which is a lie. I will probably end up watching.
Brought to you by
Mindhunter.
Heels.
Squeegee Side Chick Wednesday
Yes,
presented
give
by
us,
Heels.
give us season 3, Netflix.
You
Seriously.
cowards!
And 4 and 5 and 6. I don't care.
If you could do it with Cobra Kai, you could do it with Heels.
Give me
Oh, and while you're at it,
Mindhunter.
hire Sawyer for Heels. I think he'd be great.
Yeah,
What's
he
his
does.
name?
Fuck.
Whoever played Sawyer in Lost. Hollywood. Give him more
I
work.
know this man's name.
It happens. We all brain fart.
But anyway.
No, I think I just never knew it.
Yeah. So that's going to be exciting. That's going to be cool. We will do that next week. Spooky month is coming up in just a couple weeks where the wheel
Josh
will
Holloway.
be horror themed.
Well, technically, the wheel won't be. There won't be a. Well, the episodes of the wheel will be horror themed, but there will not be a wheel.
Wait, what?
Well, Juice is of the mind that we should be able to pick our movies for Spooky month.
Because it's only the 1 month, and we're only gonna. I mean, 2 of us are gonna have.
Which we will have this conversation
Yeah,
off
yeah.
of stream. However, Spooky month is coming, so all of the movies in October that we will be reviewing will be horror movies. So be ready for that.
And if we ever possibly get back to streaming actual video games at some point, and
We will. We need to get a new microphone.
Yes, we will also be doing horror games during the month of October as well.
Yes.
Sweet.
So that's where we're at. Thank you for joining us. We will see you next week for No Cower Entertainment. This is Matt.
There he is.
This is Juice.
We're out.
Bye.
Something with aliens. I don't know. I have no quote from this movie.
That's how you pitch when Hollywood runs out of ideas. Give me a popular story. Romeo and Juliet with aliens.
There you go.
The Jane Austen.
Austin and movies like Pride and Prejudice and Zombies.
Oh my god, that's actually a movie.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
I know.
okay.
Yeah, but now
All right,
Pride,
we're out.
Prejudice, and Aliens.